Pressure and aggression. It's the weapon most fighters rely on to break their opponents down, taking away any time and space, and eventually making them crumble under the pressure. But Terence "Bud" Crawford is a fighter who seems to thrive when opponents bring the heat. Instead of folding, he welcomes the aggression, draws it in, and then flips it back on them.
Oh, he hurt him with the right hand.
In today's breakdown, I'm going to take a look at the subtle but deadly tools Crawford utilizes to neutralize pressure, from his footwork, distance control, to the way he baits mistakes, switches stances, and punishes overcommitments. Because if there's one thing that makes Crawford special, it's not just that he beats pressure fighters, it's how he makes them regret applying that aggression in the first place. So on that note, let's get right into it. For Crawford early in fights, or even when opponents try to raise the tempo, Bud will look to step back or circle around the ring to give them the sense that they're forcing him back towards the ropes and corners. But in the reality, he's not just retreating. In my opinion, he's setting traps and building potential opportunities for the later rounds. As cliche as the phrase is now, Crawford is downloading his opponent's approach. Every feint, every rush, every punch that they commit gives him another piece of information, which he can store away for a moment he chooses to strike. One of the most subtle tactics is also starting in the orthodox stance against orthodox fighters. From a positional point of view, this makes them feel a bit closer than they actually are when he does actually turn southpaw. They believe their jab and right hand are in range, or they've been having success landing it. But Bud, going into the southpaw stance, gives him that little bit more space in an open stance fight, helping him to adjust and create more space. And of course, when they do commit or fall in with their punches, he can catch them out with sharp counters or throwing combination. We've seen this time and time again throughout his career, with Gamboa lunging in, Sean Porter trying to rush him, or even Kell Brooks stepping forward behind the jab. In my opinion, Crawford gives the illusion of success, only to suddenly flip the exchange in his favour when he does decide to change stance.
To let his combinations go. Beautiful right hand. And the champ gets to him. Just like that. Can do the work for you. As you can see, Kell Brooks was moving forward. He shot a jab out there. Crawford timed it over the top with a nice, short, I would say jab, hook.
While most talk about Crawford's switch hitting, it's in fact his feet that often save him under pressure. He uses the short controlled shuffles to move back, just enough to draw a rush before pivoting off or circling to reset. Rarely does he allow himself to be trapped in straight lines for long, while this constant lateral adjustment forces pressure fighters to keep chasing and resetting their stance, which drains energy over time. Against fighters like Beltran, Postol and Porter, this was crucial. Every time they tried to close the distance, Crawford's small pivots, half steps back, made them miss just enough to take the sting out of the attacks.
There it is.
Good eye, Tim.
Big jab running top down. He continues to fight as possible right now. And his movement, for what athletic ability it takes to be able to do this.
There's no denying Crawford is elusive, but not by running. It's subtle footwork and ring IQ to move to the positions that's going to give Crawford an advantage to either counter or throwing his combinations. If there's any pause or hesitation as they come forward, Crawford makes them pay.
And now it is Bud Crawford and Vasily Lomachenko who vie for that title.
Crawford's jab is one of his best weapons in boxing, especially against pressure. What makes it so effective is the variety. He doesn't rely on just one type of jab. In some fights, he'll fire the snappy shots to the head and body, mixing it up continually, keeping opponents honest and breaking their rhythm as they come forward.
And touches him up downstairs to the net round. As the chance. I think it's a southpaw. He goes with the left-hand lead that time and catches him again. Figure out where he can attack. That hand goes up in the air. He'll come downstairs with the body just like that.
One of the things you see more
One of the things you're seeing with Crawford is a guy who's completely at home with whatever the terms of combat are.
Both of the guys undefeated, and Crawford pretty much put on a clinic, which right now this looks like.
Other times though, he'll fire the jab more like a measuring stick, pawing or probing in the space between them, establishing distance and disrupting his opponent's lead hand. It not only makes them hesitant, but it forces them to try and get past the jab, which is exactly when Crawford sets up his counterpunch traps.
He's known to come up short at these levels, but it's...
While naturally, the more probing pawing jabs act as feints, creating opportunities to set up his backhand or combinations behind it.
Paul stands early against Molina, so let's see if Crawford switches it up or stays.
Postal there through the...
A little politicking by Jose.
Has been if he just standing still.
I think that
Once Crawford starts getting his jab landing, then he's able to set up his combinations.
working with his jab in the early going when they had the exchanges, he won the exchanges. He made Beltran miss. Let's go with a power shot again. Beltran looks like he could be ready to go at any moment here as Crawford loads up front.
For me though, it's the constant switching between touches, measuring and power that keeps opponents second guessing what's going to come. Even when opponents succeed in closing the gap, Crawford shows he's not easy to bully. On the inside, he uses subtle but effective tools, such as framing with the lead hand, tying up one of his opponent's arms, or by getting in the clinch, underhooking his arms under theirs before trying to turn them towards the ropes, giving his competitors no chance when on the inside. Crawford isn't just doing this to neutralise his opponent, it's also about mentally showing how strong he is in these positions, which in turn puts opponents off fighting him there. While if he feels his opponent is starting to slow down, that's when he'll let his hands go in short explosive bursts. Hooks to the body and around the guard, uppercuts through the middle, subtle angle changes which forces opponents to cover up. And well, we know Crawford's one of the best finishers in the sport.
Sitting on the ropes and shaking his head is not how he wants to end this fight, however.
Oh! Crawford gets him! Half a minute. See how he goes about it. Best in the world. At home. Is he the finisher they all expect him to be? He is. What a huge right hand. And he has done it.
Not to mention he doesn't smother his work. He switches levels, mixes the speed and power from both stances. Inside fighting isn't where Crawford spends most of his time, but it's another area where pressure fighters fail to find comfort. And as we've seen, those that have tried to fight him there get broken. Crawford's counterpunching is one of the biggest reasons pressure and aggressive fighters struggle against him, as he makes you pay for that approach. As I discussed earlier, once he's read an opponent's rhythm, timing and patterns, this is when he times their entries. If they try to break the range with the jab, he can take a step back and counter with the backhand, to the body and the head.
Through 4 rounds, 39-37 Porter. 37 Porter.
Watch the sweeping backhand of Terence Crawford. He's setting it up.
There it is.
Name on the front.
The urgency that I was talking about that Sean Porter.
Good left hand from Crawford. And the short uppercut that we showed. There the body punches. 28, there is.
Told you Sean Porter makes too many mistakes lunging forward like that. Boom, hit with an uppercut. Terence stick right to the side.
To add to this, sometimes he'll return back after throwing the backhand with his lead hand, either as a lead right hook or power jab.
The limits of his size and his age. The limits of his size and his age.
Or one of his favourites is to use the check right hook while pivoting out to his right at the same time.
Collected and sticking to the Porter.
Hoping that
Lunging with the right hand. He gets out of the way.
That left cheek. Oh, he caught him with the right hand. He was very quick on his feet and with his hands.
Oh, he hurt him with the right hand.
Yeah, he staggered and dropped him with the left hand. He hurt him with the right, and the left hand dropped him.
while he'll catch and counter with his shots too, turning defense into quick offense.
That side of him will come out.
Wait, people say, you know what, that he doesn't talk a lot of trash.
What a great counterpunch. He does it to Davis again.
Yep.
That's another knockdown.
That was just a little cuffing shot, but the second one, that's a real, there's going to be a real punch. You saw it, that left hand.
But I also love how he can generate power and go downstairs. As he pulls or steps back onto his back foot, the weight transfer when he returns is with full force, which we've seen get knockout blows. For me, this is the most important and best aspect of Crawford's style, as it discourages aggression from his opponent, as every time his opponent steps in and takes a chance, they're going to get met with something, chipping away their confidence and forcing hesitation, the Achilles heel of an aggressive pressure fighter. Pressure fighters usually expect to wear opponents down over time, take away their space, their rhythm, and eventually an opponent's will. But against Terence Crawford, that plan always backfires. By reading pressure, controlling distance, mixing his jab, working the inside, and punishing with counters, Crawford turns his opponent's aggression into opportunity, dismantling them piece by piece. And that's what makes him one of the most complete and dangerous fighters of this era. This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Terence Crawford. Do you think he's one of the best fighters at controlling pressure and aggression? I'd love to know. If you want more like this, why not check out one of these videos? As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.